It's dawn. Please wake up. All right, time to give it my best shot today. 20 days have passed since we left Terrace Village. The journey so far has been smooth, without any problems. Of course, we've been attacked by magical beasts a few times. We were attacked twice by greyhounds and once by those short, green, human-like magical beasts. They're apparently called goblins. 6 of them appeared, making their usual squawking noises as they attacked, but they're less dangerous than greyhounds. I used them for target practice with my homing flame arrows. We also stopped at 2 villages along the way and stayed overnight. Since Beck knew people there, we were quite welcomed. The villages were about the same size as Terrace. As we've come this far, we've crossed several main roads, and we've been passing and being passed by other travelers more often. They're usually merchants or adventurers. According to Cleria and Beck, adventurers are people who work as escorts, exterminate harmful beasts, gather necessary supplies, or act as mercenaries. When I pointed out that it didn't seem to have much to do with adventure, they agreed, but said that's just what they're called for some reason. Apparently, adventurers have a ranking system, and higher-ranked adventurers command a certain level of respect. If I ever have trouble making a living, maybe becoming an adventurer wouldn't be a bad idea. Beck and the others also woke up. "Good morning, Master," Alan-san. Beck and Thor had started calling Cleria Master. Cleria didn't seem to mind at all. "Good morning." Beck and Thor's sword skills are improving daily. While it's only about 2 hours of training each day, it's enough that they might be able to handle 2 goblins simultaneously each. Greyhounds would still be tough, though. Lately, Cleria and I have been teaching them practical combat, like how to fight a big boar. However, neither of them owns their own sword, so I'm thinking of buying them some once we reach a town. We've grown close enough for me to think that. I wonder how much a sword costs. I asked Cleria, but she didn't know. After breakfast, we set off. Beck says we'll reach Gotanya town by this evening, which I'm really looking forward to. About 5 hours after we started, just as I was thinking it might be time for lunch, my detection picked up a single response. It was human. A traveler, perhaps? It wasn't moving. I got within 200 meters, and just as I thought I'd see them, the humans started moving away from the carriage. What was that about? Intrigued, I raised my detection target from small animals or larger to human level and searched again. Setting the detection target to something larger allowed me to expand my detection range. Then, I detected 12 human responsive about 1,500 meters ahead. The single human from before was heading towards those 12. This is suspicious. It seemed like they were heading to report to the 12. Could these be the bandits Zach mentioned? Rear, 13 people, 1,500 meters ahead. They might be bandits. Huh? You can tell things that far away? Oh, right. I hadn't talked much about my detection magic. Yeah, I can. What should we do? We can't turn back now. Alan and I can handle 13 people. That's true. It should be fine to use magic, and with the rifle, we'll definitely win. We haven't confirmed they're bandits yet. By the way, is it okay to just kill bandits without question? I feel like that might be a bad idea. Why not? They're bad guys, right? Asking Cleria was a mistake. Beck, stop the carriage. I told Beck that there might be bandits ahead. Beck and Thor panicked. Is it okay to just kill bandits without question? No, Alan-san. 13 people, right? I don't know how you know the number, but we can't possibly win against 13 people. No, I think we can win. In fact, if they don't have a magic user stronger than me or Rear, we'll definitely win. No way. I've certainly seen adventurers who can use magic, but I've never seen anyone as skilled as you, Alan-san, or Master. Still, it's 13 people. Can you really win? We can win. So, is it okay to just kill bandits without question? I wonder. By the way, if you have proof or witnesses, you won't be charged with a crime for killing bandits. But I've heard that if you bring a bandit alive to the guard, you can get a reward. Oh, so there's money in it. I need money. This means I can't just kill them carelessly. How much would each one be worth? Seeing me deep in thought, Beck started to panic. Wait, are you really going to fight? It's okay. Trust your master. We can buy souvenirs for everyone in the village with the reward money. Beck, let's do it. Master and Alan will be fine. Thor sided with me, enticed by the thought of souvenirs. All right, let's try it. It'll be fine. I promise Zach, I'll definitely protect you guys. So we decided to go for it. We continued driving the carriage. First, we had to confirm they were indeed bandits. If we attacked them by mistake, we'd be the bandits. 200 meters left. I kept them updated on the distance. Cleria and I were sitting on the luggage right behind the driver's seat. We needed to be wary of projectiles like bows and throwing knives, and also magic. Bows and throwing knives could be reliably shot down with the rifle. Magic might be tricky. I zoomed in. They probably thought they were hidden, but there were 2 people up in the trees. The others were hidden and couldn't be seen. 100 meters left. 2 people in the trees. 50 meters left. Don't attack until I do. 10 meters. Cleria raised her arm. Suddenly, men appeared scattered across the road, blocking our way. 7 in front, 4 behind. The 2 in the trees seemed to be aiming their bows. Who are you? I stood on the luggage and challenged them. I already knew, but it's part of the routine. Boss, look at that woman. She's a stunner. I was irritated that they were talking among themselves instead of answering my questions. Yeah, if she's a virgin, she'll sell for a high price. Their conversation almost made me snap. No, they're worth money. Endure it. I asked who you are. Ugh, I'm about to lose it. Can't you see, idiot? We're bandits. A subordinate shouted back. At that instant, 13 flame arrows appeared around me and flew in unison towards the bandits. I immediately aimed my rifle at the 2 archers in the trees. One of them hastily fired an arrow. Chung! I heard the rifle fire, turning the arrow to charcoal. I aimed the rifle at the other, but he was already falling from the tree, his shoulder pierced by a flame arrow. The man who had fired the arrow also began to fall from the tree. I aimed my rifle at the other bandits, but they were all writhing in pain, their right shoulders pierced by flame arrows. It was over. Rear, disarm them. I jumped off the carriage and shouted to Cleria. Cleria was stunned, but at my call, she jumped down from the carriage. Disarming them was no problem. After gathering their swords, spears, and bows and arrows in one spot, we kicked them and rounded them up. If you kick hard enough, even a person can fly about 5 meters. Kicking them helped to somewhat quell my anger. That went well, didn't it? I called out to everyone. Alan-san, that was incredible, absolutely amazing. Beck, who had been stunned in the driver's seat, started making a huge fuss with Thor. Oh, that's right. Beck, Thor, go ahead and pick any sword you like from over there. I pointed to the bandits' weapons. Yay, swords! Thor, hurry! They jumped off the driver's seat. I didn't think they needed to rush, though. Alan, that weapon, shooting down a flying arrow, that's an amazing weapon. Yeah, well, it's my trump card. Your magic was incredible, too. Teach me next time. I wonder if Cleria can learn it. Oh, right. I shouldn't be constrained by common sense. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right, next time. There were no other detection responses nearby. Beck and Thor were busy choosing swords, swinging them around. As I approached the bandits, their pain seemed to have subsided, and some of them were sitting there stunned. Since they were flame arrows, there probably wasn't much bleeding. Hey, you guys, how are you feeling? Damn it, you won't get away with this. The bearded big man, who seemed to be the leader, complained. How won't I get away with it? I was genuinely curious. Did they have some kind of excuse? Just leave now and we'll let you off. You can even have our weapons. What, just an idiot then. You guys, hand over anything valuable. Depending on the amount, I might consider it. Of course, only for those who pay up. Of course, I'd only be considering it. The subordinates immediately started rummaging through their pockets. Oh, I left everything at the hideout, so I don't have any. One of the subordinates blurted out. Oh, so they have a hideout. This is interesting. The other subordinates all started handing over the money they had in their pockets. It was mostly copper and silver coins. Hey, that small change isn't even as much as the reward money. I can't let you go for that amount. You understand, right? I didn't know the exact reward amount, but I tried to sound convincing. They seemed to accept it anyway. Well, as you can see, I'm a reasonable man. I'll consider it after seeing what's at your hideout. If it's profitable overall, I might consider all of you. Of course, it was just considering. Hey, you guys, the leader started to say something, so I kicked him in the head to shut him up. He seemed to have passed out. He's not dead, right? Well, either way is fine. So, where's your hideout? The subordinates all pointed and started clamoring at once. I raised my hand to silence them. You there, answer on behalf of everyone. I pointed to the closest subordinate. The hideout is about 5 kilometers in that direction, in the ruins of a goblin nest. Ugh, that kind of place. I don't want to go there. How many people? 2 on guard. We've captured 1 merchant. Are you sure? I asked the other subordinates. They all nodded in agreement. I see. Don't worry, I'll include that merchant in the appraisal as well. I tried to make them feel like there was hope. That way, they'd stay quiet. Yay, that merchant is apparently the owner of a big shop. We were just thinking about how to get a ransom. One of the subordinates blurted out, more interesting information. I see, then we can expect a lot. What do these guys think I am? Do I look like another bandit to them? Rear, I'm going to the hideout for a bit. Claria looked worried. Hey, she's not falling for my act, is she? It's okay, I'll be right back. Beck, Thor, stand behind these guys and hold your swords ready. If they even twitch, cut them down. It's a good opportunity for some test cuts. You don't get opportunities like this very often. Yes, sir. Their excitement was palpable. They really looked like they'd cut them down. Rear, if they move even a little, burn them with magic. Don't show any mercy. I'm counting on you. Understood. With that, the bandits would surely stay put. I should go quickly. Long-distance running mode. Understood. I plunged into the mountains and started running. The goblin nest ruins were easily found. 3 human responses on detection magic. No doubt about it. I approached. At the entrance of a cave-like hole, 2 men were standing and talking about something. This was convenient. It made my earlier thoughts about how to free the hostage seem silly. I walked up normally. They seemed to have noticed me. Hey, are you guys bandits? I called out as I approached. It was only when I spoke that they seemed to realize I was there. Who are you? So, are you guys bandits? Stop right there. Ugh, this is getting tedious. I fired flame arrows piercing both of their right shoulders. They writhed in pain. Just like the leader earlier, I kicked them in the head to knock them out. I'd leave them for now. Entering the nest, it didn't seem as dirty as I expected. There was no smell. I proceeded towards the detection response. In places, there were holes in the walls where sunlight streamed in. It seemed to have been designed with proper lighting in mind. There were many room-like areas, but most were empty, and anything placed there was just junk. The merchant was found quickly. He was lying in the innermost room, tied hand and foot. He was a middle-aged man, perhaps around 50. He had a somewhat educated look about him. I decided to talk to him. You might not believe me, but I'm not a bandit. I heard about you from the bandits and came to help. You saved me. I remember the faith of every single bandit, so I know you're not one. Are you an adventurer? No, I'm not an adventurer, but I'm escorting a merchant caravan. We were attacked by bandits. After I defeated and captured them, they started talking about you at their hideout, so I came to help. I told him this as I cut the ropes binding him with my knife. Thank you so much for going out of your way. I will definitely repay this kindness, the merchant said, rubbing his unbound hands and feet. No, while it's true I came to help, I was also interested in the bandits' belongings. That's more of the real reason, actually. You're an honest one. Of course, I'd think the same myself. Pardon my late introduction. I am Tars, a general goods merchant. I'm Alan. Nice to meet you. I looked around the room. Various items were piled up haphazardly, perhaps enough to fill 2 carriages. What I could see at a glance were clothes, swords, spears, and bows and arrows. Honestly, I was disappointed, having expected more treasure-like items.
Are these belongings yours? Most of them are, yes. They're what I was transporting. Oh, the valuables are in that box over there. Mr. Tars pointed to a small box. Is this box yours too? That box isn't mine, but I believe my money is also inside it. I see, a strong box then. It was a sturdy-looking box, reinforced with metal and seemed to have a lock. All belongings of defeated bandits become the property of the one who defeated them. It's a legitimate reward set by law. What? I didn't know that. So everything here is mine? May I open it? It's yours. However, I don't know where the key is. I took out my electromagnetic blade knife and cut away all the metal parts that would obstruct opening it. Amazing! Is that a magical tool? Something like that. Opening the box, I found various amounts of gold, large and small. Most of it was copper and silver coins though. Gold coins were sparse. There was also something like a knife with many jewels embedded in it. Finally, something that looks like treasure. All right, I don't know the value of the gold, but this should be enough to live on for a while. Is this knife yours? No, it isn't. It looks like quite a fine piece. Good. Even if it's mine now, it would feel bad if it belonged to someone else originally. I'll return all the other luggage here, besides this box, to you. Are you sure? You could get a lot of money if you sell them. It's fine. This box alone is enough for me, and I don't have any connections for selling them anyway. Then, as I said earlier, I'll give you a sufficient reward. No, don't worry about it. By the way, what about your companions? I had 1 employee and 5 adventurers, but they were all killed. They were people I'd known for a long time. We'll make sure the bandits pay for their crimes. What about your carriage, Mr. Tars? They stole only the cargo and abandoned the carriage. It seems they already converted the horses into money. That's a problem. Our carriage is full of luggage. We can't carry all of this. In that case, I'll retrieve it later. It should probably be fine in these mountains. I see. Understood. All right, time to withdraw. I have no more business here. Just in case, I brought my collection bag. I dumped all the money from the box into the bag. It was quite heavy. I also put the jewel knife in the bag. Oh, there's a large amount of rope-like material in the luggage. Maybe I can use this to tie up the bandits. I'm thinking of using this to tie up the bandits. Is that okay? Of course. Feel free to use it. How many bandits are still alive? 15, I think. The ones I kicked aren't dead, are they? What? You captured all 15 alive? 1 or 2 might be dead. By the way, I heard there's a reward. Do you know how much it is? I believe it's 2,000 guineas for a corpse and 5,000 guineas if they're lively enough to be blank. An unfamiliar word came up. Even with the language update, I couldn't understand it. It seems they do something with lively bandits. Well, knowing that it's better to keep them alive is enough. 2 large silver coins for a corpse, 5 large silver coins for a live capture. I can't say for sure since I don't know the market rate. Shall we go to our carriage then? My companions are waiting. Do you want to take anything with you? In that case, saying that, he put a sword and a few other items into his bag and seemed to take them. When we left the nest, the 2 bandits were still unconscious. It took about 10 minutes to wake them up by kicking them and so on. I made the 2 bandits walk ahead, while I followed with my sword drawn. I asked Mr. Tars about the circumstances of his attack. 3 days ago, he was taking a break when arrows suddenly rained down, and he was quickly subdued. Apparently, he was on his way back to Gotania, where his shop was after exploring new sales routes. Finally, we made it back to the carriage. Alan, Claria rushed over. Was everything okay? I could see that there were no problems, but I asked anyway. It's fine. Who's this person? This is Mr. Tars, a merchant. I rescued him after he was captured. Mr. Tars looked surprised at Claria. I am Tars, a general goods merchant. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, he said, bowing to Claria. His attitude was quite different from when he met me. I walked towards the bandits. The leader had already woken up. No one had been cut, so it seemed Beck and Thor didn't get to do their test cuts. All right, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything substantial at the hideout. Therefore, you will all be going to Gotania, I said to the bandits. That's a lie. You're going to extort money from that merchant. That's dirty, one of the subordinates yelled. I didn't need to hear that from a bandit. Shut up. You guys know my magic skills well enough. If you resist even a little, I'll put an arrow through your head. There's still a reward for a corpse. I don't care either way. Beck, Thor, work in pairs and tie these bandits' hands behind their backs with this rope, 1 by 1. It's okay if it cuts off some blood, just tie them tightly. Understood? Oh, right. Don't forget to take their money. Rear, can you guard them? Understood. Excuse me, Mr. Tars, could you wait a moment? Of course. Watching these guys being pushed around is the best sight. By the way, all the bandits seem to have injured shoulders, don't they? Yes, that's my magic. All in the same spot? Yes, as you can see, I'm quite good at magic. Mr. Tars seemed somewhat unconvinced. By the way, who exactly is that knight? Oh, her? I'm sort of her squire. Mr. Tars gave me a strange look. It's true that I seem to be using Claria. Well, whatever. That knight is blank, right? Another unfamiliar word. This was the same word Zach had used. What could it mean? Well, she has a bit of a complicated situation. It was indeed true that her situation was complicated. After I said that, Mr. Tars didn't ask anything further. It took about 30 minutes to tie everyone up. To link them to the carriage and pull them, we connected them with ropes in 2 rows, 7 and 8, so they could be pulled. Alan-san, what should we do with the money we collected? Beck and Thor were holding their hands full of money. Oh, put it in here. Take a look inside. I opened my collection bag and showed them. Amazing! It's a fortune! They made a fuss as they put the money inside. We'll split it later. No way. It's what Alan-san earned. It's fine. You guys risked your lives too. You have a right to it. But we'll talk later. Did we load the weapons the bandits had onto the carriage? Good. Let's go. We set off again, heading towards Gotanya.